Hi, and welcome to another episode of Spec Mag Shorts. I'm your host, Phyllis Coley. Today, I am honored to have Tressa Azarel Smallwood as my guest. Tressa is a producer, and under the umbrella of Mega Mind Productions, she has partnered with BET Her for a series of short films, with the first two beginning this Saturday, July the 25th. Tressa, welcome to Spectacular Magazine.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for doing this on Spare the Moment. Like, I'm literally in the car, so excuse my appearance, but I am just excited about life right now and what we're doing, so I'm just honored to be with you.
Well, I am so excited and can't wait to watch this on July the 25th. So listen, tell me, how did this project come about?
Absolutely. It is a part of a health initiative that BET Her decided to do, and this year I'm blessed to be a part of it. What we want to do is shed light on mental health awareness. We want to give people an opportunity to feel good about sharing their stories, their experiences with mental health. Obviously, in the past, we know that it was almost like a taboo to talk about it if you wanted to see a therapist, if you were having some situations. But I think we all go through things. We all try to be strong and want people to think that we never have any issues. But everyone literally can use a moment in life where they just get help, or they have someone that they can talk to. And so that's what these projects are all about. The first two that will air this Saturday on BET Her will be about a gentleman who ends up battling schizophrenia. And then the other project is about a young couple who has a new baby, and the mother is suffering from postpartum depression.
Well, let's talk about the directors of those projects. Tell us about the directors.
Absolutely. So, for me, the moment that I found out we were going to have Kim Phyllis and Victoria Rowell, I was like, whoa, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. And so obviously these actresses turned directors, we're accustomed to seeing them in front of the camera, but being able to put them behind the camera to direct these stories, it has been amazing. And they really care about the project. They really care about the subject matter. I think this is going to change lives.
I think it will too. So now let's identify which one. Now, what's the name of the one that Kim Phyllis, the short film that Kim Phyllis did?
Kim Phyllis did Baby Blue.
And that's the one about postpartum depression. Yes. Okay.
Yes. And then Victoria Rowell did the one on schizophrenia, which is called Everything is Fine. Now, these are just the first two of four. I actually produced 4 movies in June. And yes, I'll say it again because most people don't understand that we were able to do this during the pandemic. That's how we know it's blessed by God, for sure.
That's right.
Yeah, we were able to film at the end of June. We wrapped on July 2nd, and we literally turned these projects around in editing, posts, etc., so that they can air on the 25th. So that right there is already amazing. That's how we know it's going to change lives. And so the last two are about breast cancer awareness, and those won't come out until October.
Okay, doing breast cancer awareness.
Yes.
And who directed those two?
Vanessa Bell Calloway and Sheryl Lee Ralph.
You worked with some awesome talent.
Oh my goodness. So honored, learned so much from them, just such a blessing.
Now, but what I understand in reading about your company is that you reach out to people who may not be as well known, but you see great potential in.
Absolutely. I've been, first of all, let me say this. I'm an educator, just teacher from training, and just my heart is always about mentorship and teaching. And so over the years, I've actually taught people how to get into the business, whether it's through screenwriting, creating content, being in front of the camera. And so for me, just tapping into unknown talent, tapping into those who really want to do something and just have that fear of doing it because of what other people will say. And so we made sure, even within these movies, that we've highlighted a lot of local talent, new faces. There will be some faces that you've never seen before. And that makes me feel good to be able to give someone a chance, because just think, 5 years ago, I wasn't doing any of this, and somebody gave me a chance.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk a little bit about what you've been doing over the last 5 years, because you're also a published author. Minute to take over. Okay.
Yes. Well, that's how this journey for me started. Like I said, I was a school teacher. In 2001, I was pregnant with my daughter, Bailey, who's 18 now. So that tells you, how long ago that was. I was expecting, I was pregnant. The doctor put me on bed rest for 6 months. And so I thought that was a death sentence when that happened. And so I said, okay, well, on bed rest for 6 months, let me make good use of my time. So I wrote a book, not thinking that I was going to, that was going to be my life, my career. Mm-hmm. I thought I was going back to work to teach. And it never happened, because once I delivered, I published my book, I self-published, and that book became a bestseller. Made like $40,000 in the first 2 months. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Okay.
Whoa. So I started writing other books. I never went back to work. I started writing other books, started publishing other authors, and, Life-Changing Books, which is my publishing house, it flourished for years. And so I've built up a pretty good catalog of 164 titles. Well, obviously, because of that, when you think about turning books to film, of course, people reached out to me saying, hey, we'd like to turn some of your books into movies. And instead of giving them my IP, I decided to learn how to produce the movies myself. And so in 2015, I produced my very first book to film, and it was called Secrets. Okay. That project was licensed to BET first. They aired it, and from there, it was history. Since then, I've actually produced I've turned 4 of my books into movies.
Wonderful. That is excellent. And so can you tell us about any other projects that you have? Are you at a place that you could talk about them coming up after this?
Sure. And so what I do is, I won't tell you all of them. If they go to my Instagram page at CEO Azarel, I typically post all of those and actually post casting, because I know that's the number one question that I typically get. How can I be involved? We normally post all of that. I will say this, out of the 3 projects that I'm getting ready to film now, there's one that's near and dear to my heart called Black Wall Street. It is a current project. It's not a period piece. It's a contemporary piece that sheds light on what happened in 1921 on Black Wall Street.
In Tulsa.
Yeah, in Tulsa, yes. Mm-hmm. And so I think for me right now, I'm excited about that. That project will be released in 2021. There's some other things that I'm doing right now. Too much, I don't want to take up your time with all of that, but the easier thing to do is just kind of go to the IG page, and we list it all.
And give give your address for IG.
Yeah, so for IG, it's CEO, and then Azarel. I'll spell my name, Azarel. They can also go to TressaAzarel.com if you want to find out information about how to turn your book into a movie, or how to even original concept, one original idea. We share free information all the time.
Okay, so tell me also, I think the interesting thing is that you're not in New York or LA.
No, ma'am. I am in the Washington, D.C. area. And it feels good because, everybody gives you these stereotypes of where do you have to live and who you need to know. And so for me, if you really think about my journey, I'm from North Carolina, born and raised, moved to the DMV, started out as a school teacher. And really, it's just all about who you surround yourself with. If you want to do something, figure out how to find a mentor in your industry and make it happen.
That's wonderful advice. One other thing, working with Black women, there's always this thing that we can't work together. Tell us a little bit about the thing on your set.
Yeah, let me tell you this. I don't believe that at all. I believe if you get the right group of women together, any race, they can make it happen. It's who you're surrounding yourself with, who's in the bunch. And I will tell you, this project that we just finished, again, Sheryl Lee Ralph, Vanessa Bell Calloway, Victoria Rowell, Kim Fields, a lot of other women. There were five Black female writers on these 4 projects. And then we had an amazing DP female. Okay, so when you think about cameras, you always think that the guys are carrying the cameras. Oh my goodness, Anna killed it. And so it was predominantly women who completed this project, and we worked together so well and under insane circumstances. So when people say that Black women can't work together, I don't believe that at all.
And we have a history also of making things happen, something out of nothing.
Oh, for sure. We don't fold. So every time that we were faced with a challenge, we just said, all right, let's level up. What are we doing?
What do we have to do next?
Yeah.
How do we make this happen? Tressa, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today.
Oh, thank you.
I just appreciate it so much. But listen, so you guys have been watching Spec Mag Shorts. My guest today was Tressa Azarel Smallwood, who is a producer, and her company is Megaminds Productions. She has 4 short films that she has just produced through BET Her. 2 of those short films will air on Saturday, July 25th. The other 2 will air in October, and we'll come back to you in October to talk about those 2, as those 2 deal with breast cancer. Breast cancer, yes. And so, but I want to thank you so much for watching today. Tressa, thank you so much for being with me. Thank you. Again, I'm your host, Phyllis Coley. And until next time, see ya.
Spectacular Magazine. We on the scene.